Shovel Knight Spectre of Torment is an expansion of the original Shovel Knight game that came out in 2014, that game now renamed to Shovel Knight Shovel of Hope. The short history of Yacht Club Games getting this original game made starts with a Kickstarter. It wasn't a massive Kickstarter treasure trove, but it did do very well, almost reaching $1 million. The Kickstarter was so successful that 3 specific stretch goals were achieved. These required Yacht Club Games to create 3 side campaigns featuring bosses as playable characters. The first game was really great, bringing back the iconic platformer formula but also expanding on it as well. Too bad other developers couldn't achieve the same thing. After the newly named Shovel of Hope campaign was finished, the first of the playable bosses campaigns came out. It was named Plague of Shadows, featuring the Plague Knight as the playable character. I really wanted to get into this one. The music was great, plus a more interesting story than Shovel of Hope. It was a combination made in heaven. I could not get into the new combat and movement system in Plague of Shadows, which is why I have not completed the game to this day, but Spectre of Torment seemed to be different. At first I questioned what could be done with Spectre Knight, since in the first 2 games all he did was float and throw his scythe, but the team over at Yacht Club Games really brought this character to life. Instead of his campaign being a sort of alternate reality like Plague of Shadows, this would act as a prequel to the original Shovel Knight game. This take on that story, giving context to how the Enchantress in the Order of No Quarter came to be, was really cool to see. It was a nice reminder of that amazing first campaign, but it was also accompanied by a really fun game in and of itself. The movement system was altered to become more fluid, and the added bonus of wall climbing was a good addition as well. With Shovel Knight, Yacht Club Games nailed the old platformer feel of the late 80s and early 90s, but with this new entry the game feels like the platformer from the late 90s, really making the game that much better. The new movement system and combat got rid of the bells and whistles added to the Plague of Shadows, really focusing on the simplicity of the controls. This, accompanied by the amazing level design, really made the game all that much better. I'm telling you, the later levels of this game has some of the best level design I've ever seen in a game. People were drooling over the level design in Titanfall 2, but that is nothing on this. The creativity needed to make the game mechanics that much more interesting is a talent lacking in the video game space. The game checks all of the boxes when it comes to things to do in a Shovel Knight game. It has different armors, different relics to use, and one collectible throughout the game. It is shorter than the other campaigns according to How Long to Beat, coming in at around 4.5 hours, but it doesn't feel that short and every minute of it is great. There is a challenge mode that can extend your playtime, and if you wanted to find all the red skulls in the game, that would extend your playtime as well. Overall, Shovel Knight Spectre of Torment is a really good game, and will probably find its way into my top 10 games of 2017.